Hey, welcome back to Herbs and Ease. My name is Kristen and I am an herbalist, and I am here to help you feel better in your body. And I don't know about you, but I just do not feel very good if I'm not sleeping. It ruins just like my sense of joy in the world. And I don't think that I need to tell you why you should prioritize sleep, and I'm not going to. I think it's pretty well known that sleep and rest is essential to being well and happy and healthy. It's really important for brain function and for mood and for exercise recovery and for healing and memory and learning. We all know this, right? We all know that sleep and quality sleep makes us feel better. But getting quality sleep, that is the hard part. So today I'm going to share with you my top herbs for sleep, and then we are going to put them all together and make a bedtime tea that you can drink every night. So it's basically the bedtime tea that I sell in my apothecary to my clients, although I have a few other things in mind. And I wanted to keep this recipe simple for you. And it's pretty much the tea that I drink every night and have for years to help me sleep. And I absolutely love it because sleep is so important for me. So let's get into it. Let's meet the herbs. Before we get into them, let me tell you about some things that they have in common. All of these herbs are nervines. Nervines are a class of herbs that have an effect on the nervous system, and there are a few different types of nervines. You have sedative or hypnotic nervines, you have tonic nervines, and you have stimulating nervines. So, sedative nervines are known for their calming and sedating properties, and they can be helpful for promoting sleep and reducing anxiety and increasing relaxation. All of these herbs that we're talking about today will fall under this category, obviously. We also have tonic nervines, and tonic nervines are believed to support the overall health and function of the nervous system, usually through their vitamin and mineral content, plus other nervous system actions. The most obvious tonic nervine that we use in Western herbalism is the oat plant or oat straw, Avena sativa. And stimulating nervines are herbs that will usually have some sort of caffeine in them, like the tea plant, Camellia sinensis, yerba mate, and of course, the coffee plant and cacao. So, whenever you see that an herb is classified as a nervine, you know that it has some sort of action on the nervous system. Now, our first sleepy time herb is valerian, Valeriana officinalis. Valerian is a sedative nervine that is also an antispasmodic and hypotensive, meaning that it reduces blood pressure. It's commonly used for mental and emotional stress, for pain, for anxiety and restlessness, for insomnia. It's used for cramps and muscle tension and backaches. And I like to use this herb in any situation where tension and anxiety cause problems, whether they are psychological or physical. For most people, valerian is sedating. Some people are stimulated by it, but I have personally only met like one person. So the chances are pretty low. Although, if you are a person who is stimulated by valerian, leave me a comment and let me know so I can gather more data on that subject. Now, a word of caution, valerian has a smell. Some people are totally fine with the smell of valerian, and some people are really averse to it. I'm not going to tell you what people think it smells like because I don't really want to put that into your head. I personally love valerian. I think it tastes and smells very sweet and almost fruity, and I do add valerian into my bedtime tea. But if you decide to make the tea recipe that I share with you in this episode, just smell the valerian before you buy it. You can easily leave it out of the blend if you want. It will make the blend a little bit less sedating, but I just, above all, want you to remember that herbs don't work if you don't take them. And so if you're really turned off by the smell of valerian so much that it prevents you from drinking the tea, then just leave it out of the blend. Our next herb is linden, Tilia cordata. Linden is considered a nervine, an antispasmodic, and it's hypotensive, which means it can lower blood pressure. Now, due to its significant effects on the cardiovascular system, it is considered a cardiotonic. It relaxes the heart and the blood vessels, and it can help prevent arteriosclerosis and hypertension. So, linden is known for its calming effects on the nervous system, especially for me, at least what I notice, is the peripheral nervous system. It's often used in multiple cultures for relieving anxiety and nervousness and tension, especially muscular tension throughout the whole body that's caused by stress. It is a mild sedative, it calms the mind, and it promotes mental, emotional, and muscular relaxation. And I like to add linden in my bedtime tea because, as a nervous system tonic, I find that it is an herb that seems to relax a layer of emotional and mental and physical tension so that we can get to the deeper core of ourselves, almost like approaching rest and ease from an emotional layer and not just a nervous system layer. So, this herb makes a really great tea. It's commonly used in South America. They call it lime or tilia. So, you can often find it for sale in grocery stores in the Latin American section of it. Also, I think, has a really nice taste and it makes a good time addition to bedtime teas. So, we are putting it in our blend today. Now, our next herb that we're adding to our blend is passionflower. Passionflower is my favorite herb. It is the herb that I probably recommend the most to people. It's the herb that I probably take the most. It is like Passionflower is my best friend, essentially. Passiflora incarnata. Passionflower is a nervine and an anxiolytic herb. It's often used as a treatment for anxiety disorders. It's incredibly relaxing and it can be used for headaches and muscle spasms, insomnia and anxiety, and even panic attacks. I like think that it stops anxiety in its tracks for me and for a lot of my clients and a lot of my friends who also have anxiety. Even with just a few doses of a passionflower tincture, I can go from feeling pretty anxious and riled up to just feeling like a normal person who doesn't have anxiety. So it is often also used for insomnia. It can induce sleep, especially in large quantities. It actually increases the neurotransmitter GABA in the brain, which is associated with a calm mind and a decrease of mental chatter and overthinking. And in South America, it is also used to treat epilepsy and, as I mentioned, panic attacks. So, as part of our sleepy tea, it will make a great addition to help calm the mind and support restful mental states that are so important to supporting a good night's sleep. Now, our next herb is lavender, Lavandula officinalis. Lavender is a common herb that is used as an essential oil for relaxation and rest, but it also makes a great addition to bedtime teas for the same reason that it is such a popular topical oil. It is a nervine, a relaxant, and antispasmodic, and it can be supportive to soothing the muscles for insomnia, for grounding nervous tension, and for decreasing anxiety. It is another herb that supports mental relaxation by increasing GABA in the brain. And again, that just means that it is going to support the calming of the mind and the quieting of that overthinking thing that we do that prevents us from sleeping sometimes. So the last herb that we are putting in this blend is chamomile, Mitricaria rucutia. We use the flowers of chamomile, and it is what I like to call a gateway herb because most people have used chamomile or had a cup of chamomile tea at some point in their life. Chamomile is a hypnotic, a carminative, a bitter, an antispasmodic. It is a relaxing nervine and it is anti-inflammatory. It actually has a very wide range of uses in the body. As a nervine and a light sedative, it helps to support and soothe and tone the nervous system, helping to calm the body and the mind. It is really soothing to the stomach. It soothes gastrointestinal inflammation because of its high essential oil content. So it's great for the stomach, especially when digestive symptoms are also associated with stress and anxiety. We use it for anxiety and insomnia, for loss of appetite, for gastric ulcers because of its digestive, soothing, and anti-inflammatory properties. We can use it for diarrhea, for colds, for aches and pains. It can be used for migraines and vertigo and inflammation in the body in general. And as an antispasmodic, it works on the peripheral nerves and muscles which will help to indirectly relax the entire body. And of course, it's a classic bedtime tea and relaxing herb for stressful situations. So, of course, it is going to be added to our bedtime blend. So, now that we have a basic idea of what all of these herbs do and how they work, let's make our tea. You can get all of these herbs at your local health food store, very likely, or you can buy them online. So, make sure that you have all the ingredients before you give it a shot. And making this tea blend is super duper simple. First, you're going to add all of these herbs to a jar in equal amounts. I like to make a big jar of the blend rather than blending the tea every night, but you can do that if that is something that brings you pleasure or brings you joy. So I am going to add about 4 teaspoons of each herb into my jar. And then I'm also going to add like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of peppermint to my blend to give it a little bit of flavor and to act as a bit of a catalyst. In herbal formulations, an herbal catalyst is a term that is sometimes used to refer to an herb or ingredient that enhances the effectiveness or potency of other herbs or ingredients in the formula. It's believed that the herbal catalyst helps to facilitate or accelerate the actions of other herbs, thereby increasing their overall therapeutic effect. I usually pick my catalyst based on taste. So for this blend, I'm going to use peppermint, but you could also use ginger if you prefer ginger over minced ginger is another great catalyst. Now, as a final addition, I'm actually going to add a few pinches of rose petal to my tea blend. I almost always add a pinch of flower petals to a blend like this because it's an opportunity for me to add a little prayer or set a little intention for my herbal medicine, which for me is a really important way that I connect not only to plants, but also to my wellness practice and to the people that I make herbal remedies for and to God. So, it makes this tea look really beautiful and it puts a lot of like magic and intention into my herbal medicine. So after you add your herbs to the jar, you're going to shake it up to mix it well. And don't forget this, label your jar. You think that you are going to remember what you put in this blend, and that is just a rookie mistake. Medicine making 101, always label your medicine with the recipe. Always write the recipe down. Now that we have our blend, let's actually make a cup of bedtime tea. So usually when we're drinking herbs for wellness purposes, we want to have about 4 cups of tea per day, but this is bedtime tea. So this is something that we take to help us sleep. So we're actually going to cut that down and have 1 to 2 cups of tea. I personally will drink about 2 cups of this tea maybe an hour or so before I plan to go to sleep. So that I have time to use the bathroom before I actually fall asleep, so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. But you get to do whatever works best for you. So to make this tea, you're going to add about 2 teaspoons of your blend to a cup or a jar and cover it with 2 cups of hot water. If you want less tea, do 1 teaspoon and 1 cup of water. I'm going to let you make that decision and play around and see what works best for you. So I like to let this tea steep for about an hour. It's actually part of my bedtime routine, and I like a really strong cup of tea, so a longer brew time is better for me. So I make a cup of tea and then I tidy my house, I take care of my animals, I do my bedtime stuff, and then I drink this tea while I read or journal before I go to sleep. And this tea helps me calm down, it helps me fall asleep. It's not the exact recipe that I sell in the apothecary, but it's the foundation of the recipe that I sell in my apothecary, and it's a really great recipe for a beginner bedtime tea. And it just so happens to be the recipe that I'm drinking right now in my life because I took this jar home with me. Now, if you end up making this tea, let me know how it comes out for you and how you like it. Let me know if you made any changes to the recipe. I really love sharing herbal remedies with people and my community and seeing what other people do. It's how we grow as herbalists, and I truly do want to hear from you. And if you found this information helpful, make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. And until then, I will see you in the next episode of Herbs and Ease. And so stay cool, stay sleepy, get good sleep. And yeah, Okay, I love you. Bye.